I think my wife of 12 years is lesbian. When I met my wife, she told me she was bi, and it never bothered me. Our intimacy life has always been good, and even after 20 years, my wife is still as beautiful as she was when I met her. 3 years ago, my wife suggested having a three-way with a random woman, as she knows that I'm into that kind of thing. I never brought it up in the past, as I didn't want her to think I wanted to bring someone else into our marriage. I was immediately on board with this idea, and we looked on a hookup site to find a woman who would like to join us. The first three-way we had was amazing, and soon it became a normal thing we would do, maybe once or twice a month. However, recently, my wife has been asking for way more three-ways and even suggested having 2 women over, which I declined. To put things into perspective, last year, the most hookups we had in a month was 4. This year there was a month where we did it 7 times, with 4 different women. We are barely having one-on-one intimacy anymore, and when we do, it feels like she isn't even into it, and almost as if she was doing me a favor. 2 nights ago, my wife and I hooked up with another woman. I didn't think much of it at the time, and was going about our normal routine of preparing our house for company. When the woman of the hour arrived, me and my wife greeted her, and took her to our room. When we got started, everything was going well. However, I noticed my wife was paying extra attention to the woman this time, rather than being even like she normally does. She was kissing her a lot, and even told me to get out of the way at one point so she could have her all to herself. I was a little offended, but I didn't think much of it. Even after I nut though, they didn't stop. In fact, they kept going long enough for me to get another stiffy, then join in, then nut again. It was at least 3 hours. I didn't hate it, but I felt like if I didn't go for a second round, and even left the room, my wife would continue having intimacy with this woman even if I wasn't there. After all was said and done, the 3 of us fell asleep. We normally let our third party stay the night, as we like to be nice and have good manners. When I woke up the next morning, I was alone in bed. I thought I slept in, but it was 9 a.m. on a Saturday, and we stayed up well past 3. I went to the kitchen to make some coffee and look for my wife, when I saw her and the woman having intimacy on the couch in the living room. I was beyond shocked, and when my wife asked me to join, I just went back to our bedroom. She has never done this before, at least that I know of, and it broke my heart to see this happen, especially while I was asleep. It unalived me hearing their moans and dirty talk while I was literally one room over. When the woman left, my wife came to me with a little bit of an attitude, saying that I made it awkward and put tension between her and the woman. I was appalled that she didn't try to apologize or make up some lame excuse, and I ended up just going back to bed, as I didn't feel like arguing at that point. I love my wife so much, and can't see my life without her. It's been 3 days and recently she has been staying out late and is barely talking to me. I have a feeling that she's cheating on me, but I can't bring myself to confront her as I don't have any proof and honestly still love her. I don't know what to do.